Welcome everyone to this conference, the Wittgenstein Center 2020 Conference, Demographic Aspects of the COVID-19 Pandemic and its Consequences. So the conference will last 2 days, today and tomorrow. I am one of the organizers and so other people helped me with this. I would like to mention the other co-organizers at the Wittgenstein Center, Michael Kuhn, Wolfgang Lutz, Mark Louis and Raya Muttarak. And you will find them all around in different roles and you will meet them during the conference. And so it is a special setting, of course, for this conference because we are online only. We were for 15 years doing a December conference in Vienna. We would have liked to meet you here. It was not possible this year. We had to move completely online. And this space and this conference would have been not possible without the great support of our colleagues in the support team. And I would really like to thank them already at the beginning for making this all possible. They imagined and created this space. And they are Petra Schmutz, and she is the person behind all the emails that you received and the complete organization of the conference, selection of the abstracts and the collection of the abstract and so on. And let me thank also Barbara Simonic and Bernard Renks. They are behind the technical part of the conference, behind the website, and Inga Freund that took care of the public relations and of the cultural events. And they are also helped by other people, Stephanie Andukovic, Eba Barakat, Binita KC, Lisa Janic, and Annie Minasian. They are all sitting behind the screen and helping, and you will find them under technical team or something like that. So since the beginning of this pandemic, it was clear that distance is a big problem. So in the sense that we were too close before, and this globalization made the coronavirus spread around. And for the same reason, we have to be separated now. That means this is exactly the reason that we are online. On the other side, we have completely new understanding of distance. And what happened is that for the first time in this conference, we had not only the online setting, but also more than 500 participants or registered people, as I show you in this map, and from all over the world. And not only participants in the sense of audience, we had also presenters from all over the world. And this created also some nice things that we could not imagine before, something like we had to take care of time zones and so on. But we are extremely happy to welcome all these colleagues from all over the world, especially from Europe, because we are in Vienna and this is a European setting, but not only from Europe. So I am introducing this conference later on, so in a short, there will be the official opening, but let me tell you some, let me introduce you some technical part of the opening. So we have 6 sessions and the complete conference is focused only on COVID-19. We have 3 keynotes, 3 very prominent people, Nikki Popper immediately after the opening, and today in the afternoon, Josh Goldstein, and tomorrow, Professor Karl Ulrich Mayer. And we have also 2 poster sessions. There will be 1 poster session today and 1 poster session tomorrow, both at lunchtime. You will have 1 hour to look around the posters in this conference. And this is a complete novel approach to a poster session, and we hope that you will enjoy it like the rest of the conference. So we are very sorry that we cannot welcome you in Vienna, but we want to bring a little bit of Vienna to you. That means that we organize 2 cultural events, thanks to Inga Freund for taking care of all this. One of them is tonight at 7 o'clock. It is a video, and someone, so a guide from the Kunsthistorisches Museum, that means the Art History Museum of Vienna, one of the 2 most prominent ones, will introduce you to the picture gallery. And tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, done especially for our colleagues that are living in the eastern part of the world, so early, it is early for us and it is basically impossible for the colleagues from the other side of the hemisphere, but there will be a virtual guided tour through the exhibition Monet to Picasso at the Albertina Museum. And this is a guided tour, it is live, and if you want to participate to this, and we really encourage it, it is by registration. The registration will be open during the opening session, and please find it on the website. So the website is the central part where you can find information for our conference. So whenever you connect there, you will find the program, the poster sessions with the poster PDF to watch, the instructions and the registration for the cultural events, every possible information. This is the central part of the exchanging of information about our conference. What do you find in the website is also our virtual WIC booth. Like in a usual conference, you can visit this space in the website and you will get information about the publications and the books of the Wittgenstein Center, the research done around the COVID-19 at the Wittgenstein Center, the data sheets, several types of data sheets that we produce, and they are very famous around the world, and the Human Capital Data Explorer, and our newest achievement is the opening of a master in global demography. You will hear all about this in a short, so what are the activities of the Wittgenstein Center, but also you can read on the virtual WIC booth. And something else, as usual, there is a special issue of the Vienna Yearbook of Population Research that is connected to the conference and will be published in 1 year. Of course, the title of this year is Demographic Aspects of COVID-19 Pandemic and Its Consequences, and it's guest edited by Josh Goldstein, Anne Goujon, Guillaume Marot, and myself. And I'm happy to tell you that the submission of full papers is already open. Please participate and give us your paper, and we will have a very fast process, as fast as possible. And the papers that are accepted will be published already online as soon as they are accepted. We don't have to wait for the usual publication times. So at the end of this introduction, I want also to remind you that we are on Twitter, and every tweet is welcome. You can use the hashtag WIC2020 and follow us at WIC Vienna handle. And with this, my presentation is finished, and I would like to pass the word and to introduce Wolfgang Lutz, and he will tell us not only officially, he will officially open the conference, and he will tell us something more about the Wittgenstein Center. Thank you, Wolfgang.
Thank you, Paola. Good morning to everybody, or good afternoon, good evening, depending on in which time zone you are sitting. And this is a new feature of this 2020 Wittgenstein Center conference. We always have this conference in late November, early December, because this is usually a very nice time here in Vienna with lots of Christmas markets. So this year we cannot invite you for a glass of Glühwein, but as it was shown, we will have 2 cultural events that will also bring you close to Vienna. Now, when we decided in April of this year that we want to change the originally foreseen topic of this conference to focus on the demographic aspect of COVID-19. We thought that, of course, in March, April, we were all groping in the dark. There was no reliable data. So we thought by the end of the year, we would have the first set of reliable data that already some meaningful analysis can be made. And actually, that seems to be the case. We were a bit too optimistic, I must confess, that we thought that we can have a hybrid conference. We thought that we can have at least some people present in Vienna in a conference hall with lots of distancing, but at least a group of people coming together with the others linked electronically. Unfortunately, through the second wave, now we had to decide to make it completely online, which from technical perspectives is actually a bit easier. So I'm very happy to connect to all of you around the world. And I see at the moment we have more than 170 participants already here. Now, 2020 also marks the 10th anniversary of the establishment of the Wittgenstein Center for Demography and Global Human Capital. As you may know, this was based on the Wittgenstein Prize 2010, the highest Austrian science prize, that brings together 3 groups working in the field of demography in the Vienna area. It is the Vienna Institute of Demography of the Austrian Academy of Sciences, the World Population Program of IIASA, the International Institute for Applied Systems Analysis. And then originally it was the University of Economics, where I also was a half-time professor teaching some demography. And here the biggest change has happened recently because we could convince the University of Vienna to open a true full department of demography. As you may know, around the world, there are very few genuine departments of demography. Mostly demography is attached to sociology, statistics, or economics. It is still a small department, but it is an independent department within the Faculty of Social Sciences. We have now 9 people employed there, but we assume that we are on expanding trajectory. I'm now, since exactly 1 year, moved from the University of Economics as a half-time professor to the University of Vienna. And we've already started this October with an ambitious doctoral program in demography. I'm happy to say we have 12 pre-docs, really from all corners of the world, from California to Brazil, to Korea, to Nepal. It's really a very international group. Fortunately, everybody managed to arrive physically in Vienna, which was a challenge with getting visa and so on. So we have started this doctoral program. And as Paola has said, there is now almost final decision. It's not yet finally approved by the Senate of the university, but it's very likely that in October next year, we can start with an English language master's program in demography that will have at its title Global Demography. Global meaning in the dual sense, it is a international, including all parts of the world, but global also in the sense that it's broader. We have this multi-dimensional approach to demographic analysis. So it's it's based on formal demography. It is really in a very broad definition of how population trends matter for society, economy, and even for sustainable development. Okay, I think with these words, I'll now pass over to representative of the other 2 pillars. I've now welcomed you on behalf of the University of Vienna. At IIASA, there also have been some significant changes over this year. By the end of this year, my tenure as being for 25 years director of the World Population Program will come to an end, and it will be handed over into competent hands of Raya Muttarak, who will now tell you a bit about what's going on at IIASA. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Wolfgang. So on my side, I would like to give you a warm welcome, obviously from IIASA, one of the pillars of the Wittgenstein Center. I guess one of the few positive externalities of this COVID-19 pandemic is that now that we do our conference completely online, so we have, as Paula mentioned, over than 500 subscriptions of participants. Actually, we even need to upgrade our Zoom account to be able to accommodate such a high number of people. So I'm really happy to see colleagues from all over the world participating, which reminds us that we are all in this pandemic together. So we know that the only way to eliminate the threat of this disease is to eliminate it everywhere. So this makes the COVID-19 pandemic shares the same feature with climate change. And the only exit strategy from this global crisis, apart from individual and national efforts, is international cooperation. So considering synergies and trade-off between different COVID-19 or climate change mitigation strategy is at the heart of IIASA research, which focuses on system analysis. So IIASA has been very present in the IPCC assessment reports for the past one and the upcoming one. But YASA has also been quite active actually in COVID research, including the formation of the consultative science platform to define and design sustainability pathways in the post-COVID world. So for the World Population Program, of course, in collaboration with our colleagues from the Wittgenstein Center, we have been particularly active in applying demographic methods to understand the differential impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on subgroups of population in different geographical locations. So in the next step, we also want to align our work with the new program at YASA, which Wolfgang has mentioned. So this new program emerged from the new YASA strategy for the next 10 years, starting from January 2021. So I will lead the program called the Population and Just Societies, which is built upon our currently strong basis in demographic modeling and also the analysis of heterogeneity. But now we would have a combined with the new focus on equity and justice dimension. So we trying to build in equity and justice consideration in our research, especially when considering population health, migration, and climate policy. And I would like to also take this opportunity to introduce another new program at YASA, Economic Frontiers, which Michael Kuhn, who is also the co-organizer of this conference, he would lead this program. So he would be a program director of this new one. So this program, Economic Frontiers, will strengthen system analysis at YASA by empirically including economic processes and outcomes, both at the micro and macro levels in YASA models. So we will definitely have close collaboration between demography and economics in the future, since Michael actually has already, as we know, we have collaborated with him. He's not only the highly competent, but also is a very nice economist. And my final word is to ask you to check our website regularly, since there will be some new recruitment at YASA in the next year. And now I would like to pass on to Alexia, who would be representing the Vienna Institute of Demography.
Thanks, Raya and Wolfgang, and welcome from my side to all of you to this year's WIC conference. And I have now the pleasure to welcome you from the side of the VRD. It's currently the biggest pillar of the WIC Center, the Vienna Institute of Demography. And indeed, we are part of the Austrian Academy of Sciences, and which was founded in 1847. And the Austrian Academy of Sciences is not just a learned society. I mean, it's one part of the Austrian Academy of Sciences, but it has also 27 institutes. And among them, from archaeology to classical studies, to Asian studies, to historical sciences, life sciences, and last but not least, we have a really strong also social science department now, institutes in the Austrian Academy of Sciences, and the Vienna Institute of Demography is clearly the biggest one here in the Austrian Academy of Sciences. And indeed, we have really also the Austrian Academy of Sciences has focused since March onward also to put a lot of effort in communicating science in the COVID crisis, which was really extremely important. And the VRD itself jumped on this train, and we did a lot of research during the last couple of months, ranging from excess mortality, COVID-19 vulnerability, index for Austrian municipalities, also about accessing macroeconomic burden of COVID, gender differences in vulnerability to COVID. So VRD itself has played a key role also within the Austrian Academy of Sciences to really contribute to research, science-based advice on COVID. And it was clear, I mean, that we have to do this year's conference, I think, on COVID research and related to demography, because it will follow us also during the next years quite heavily. Let me also go back a little bit to the Vienna Institute of Demography. As I told you, we are part of the Austrian Academy of Sciences. The VRD was founded in 1975, and as most of you know, beginning around the turn of the century, and especially it was the year 2002/2003, where we really became a European player in terms of demographic research, starting from first being the Austrian representative, and now I think we are really among the important European players in demographic research. Vienna Institute of Demography is covering several branches in demography. Let me just highlight, I mean, we have 7 research groups on family and fertility, on health and longevity. Okay, yes, so sorry, then maybe I should end up. I'm sorry for this, but I'm really welcoming everyone from everywhere around the world, and I'm really looking forward to 2 days of intensive discussion and policy relevant, scientific relevant, I think, studies on COVID, where hopefully we can contribute also to the future. And sorry for this little technical problem, and see you soon again during the keynote.